What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back with my Week 15 running back rankings. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And if you have any questions or comments, start sit advice, dynasty questions, whatever it may be, I will respond to every single comment in the comment section down below. So whatever fantasy advice you need tailored to you and your league, I got you guys. I'll be there in the comments helping you guys out as always. And likes really help out the video. Alrighty, let's dive into these rankings. Half-point PPR. At number 1, we got Derrick Henry with a fantastic matchup against the New York Giants. This one I think everyone should be excited about. I think it's a smash play in daily as well. 2, we got Saquon Barkley against Pittsburgh. With the Eagles' offensive line, I don't think they're going to struggle to run the ball against this Pittsburgh front very much. I think he's in for due for a really big day as well, especially pursuing that rushing record. 3, Bijan Robinson against Vegas. Good matchup for Bijan. He's looked good. He's been productive these more than the last several weeks. He's been productive basically all season. Just got to a slightly slow start. 4, Joe Mixon against Miami. He's been balling on a per-game basis this entire year. Really just got hurt, but every time he's been in the field, he's been pretty darn good for fantasy. So I'll definitely play him in that Miami matchup. 5, Jahmyr Gibbs against Buffalo. This one, they might need Gibbs even more in the passing game, which is exciting for fantasy. We saw last week they played a good game against Green Bay. He had 6 receptions, I believe. So that's really good to see for fantasy. They get him involved. It's tough for him to miss, and he's got excellent touchdown upside. Get him involved in the passing game. It's tough for him to miss. 6, Devon Achane. Speaking of a guy who's consistently involved in the passing game for a running back, he's going to hit about every week if he keeps catching 5 or 6 balls, which he has been for a while. It's really tough to miss as a running back when you're catching the ball that much, and he's gotten goal line opportunities as well. 7, Josh Jacobs, 8 touchdowns in his last 4 games, and this is a good matchup against Seattle. 8, Chuba Hubbard against Dallas. Great matchup for Chuba. Jonathan Brooks is down. He's looked fantastic. This offense is churning. Fire up Chuba Hubbard with full confidence in this one. 9, Kyren Williams against San Francisco. Another guy that's coming off 2 really good games for him. And San Francisco has been... They've been pretty tough against they've been pretty bad against stopping the run since Bosa has been out. 10, James Conner against New England. I don't know if Bosa is going to play in that game, though, so that's something to look into. I haven't been monitoring his health situation. 10, James Conner against New England. Smash play for Conner. His first 20-point game of the year, I believe, this last week. And I think he's due for some touchdowns in his near future and some better rushing days ahead, just based off his last couple of games, the schedule, game scripts, things of that nature. 11, Alvin Kamara against Washington. This one was tough. I felt weird ranking Alvin Kamara this low. To have him out of the top 10 honestly just felt wrong because he's another guy who catches so many passes with his Taysom Hill injury. All the goal line is going to go to him. I mean, Kendrick Miller looked better last week. Maybe they involve him a little bit more at this point in the season. Derek Carr being out, though, definitely lowers my confidence in the offense overall, which is a big reason why I slid him down a little bit this week. But it's hard to miss as a running back when you go 6 for 60, which he often has that type of passing game utilization. All right, Chase Brown against Tennessee. He's been playing a ton of snaps for them. Herbert's got a little bit more involved, but Tennessee's not the scariest matchup on the ground. They've got a good defense, but nothing crazy in Chase Brown's involvement and his explosive ability. He can get there in one play, so I'm playing him as a top 12 play. 13, Brian Robinson Jr. This is an awesome matchup for him, and he's a great price in daily on DraftKings. He's 6,200. Plays against New Orleans. They've been a sieve against the run lately. Great touchdown upside for him in this one. They love to give it to him on the goal line. I think he can have multiple opportunities in this one against New Orleans. 14, David Montgomery against Buffalo. Great bet for a touchdown every single week. 15, Kenneth Walker against Green Bay. Monitor the health, obviously. You missed this last one, but Kenneth Walker's out there. You're playing him. He's been more involved in the passing game this year than we've seen in recent years. And again, he's one of those guys who can just hit an 80-yard run on any play. So you play players like that. Explosivity is very valuable in fantasy football, especially in the playoffs. And what I always think about, let's say a player's got, he's had a great day. 20 carries, he's got 95 yards, 100 yards, and a touchdown on the ground already, gets a carry in the fourth quarter and breaks it for 80. Those are how you have those monster games that not only can he make his day late still, if he hasn't gotten it going, but it gives you those monster games on top of that. You love having that in fantasy football. 16, Aaron Jones against Chicago. He balled against them last time he played, and he's been playing well these last several weeks. 17, James Cook against Detroit. This one, again, it felt weird ranking James Cook this low. I think he's got great touchdown upside just about each and every week. I think Buffalo will be able to run the ball against this Detroit front seven. They're great against the run, but I think the Buffalo Bills offensive line is one of the most underrated in football, especially when it comes to run blocking. 18, Breece Hall against Jacksonville. Again, monitor the health on this one. But I think Breece, if he plays, he's a great play in this one just because Jacksonville's been so awful on defense. And he's an explosive guy. I haven't seen him quite get there in some of these recent weeks, but he's a great player. If he's out there in a great matchup, I'm playing him. 19, Tony Pollard against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's run defense and their defense in general has been rough all year. You can definitely play him in this one. Yeah. Well, for a second there in my head, I thought I had the wrong matchup because I was thinking Tony Pollard plays for the Cowboys, but he doesn't. He's with the Titans now. Okay, that makes sense. Moving on, Rico Dowdle against Carolina. Dowdle's been doing really well these last several weeks. This is a good matchup. Carolina's been better these last few weeks, but they still left a lot of yards to Saquon Barkley. He just didn't get into the end zone. I expect Rico Dowdle to be able to make a big contribution and be a big part of this Cowboys offense with the situation they're in. Don't love Zeke getting a lot of the carries inside the 10, but Rico Dowdle is still by far the most effective back on this team, and this is a good matchup. 21, Jonathan Taylor against Denver. Never thought I'd see Rico Dowdle ahead of Jonathan Taylor, and this one's tough, but if Jonathan Taylor doesn't score a touchdown, it's really hard for him to get there in fantasy because he doesn't catch a ton of passes with Anthony Richardson's play style. And then Anthony Richardson obviously poses a threat on the goal line as well, which lowers his touchdown upside to me. There's just a lot of things working against him, and Denver's a really good defense. So that's why I have Jonathan Taylor lower on this list. He's a 4.3 guy. He could bust, or maybe he was 4.4, but he's an elite 40 time for his size and speed. He could definitely bust one and get there, but I think it's going to be a tough week for Jonathan Taylor owners. 22, Isaiah Pacheco against Cleveland. He had 14 carries this last week. I think he had 14 or 15, but he's been getting that's pretty steady involvement against Cleveland. I'm going to roll him out there. 23, Isaiah Guerrero / Patrick Taylor. With this game being on a Thursday, I think it's going to be Patrick Taylor that plays, and then I have him down at 23. If Guerrero is in, I think it's a bump with his. I just think Guerrero's a good back. Ran a 4.33. That's obviously extremely explosive. It can have those long runs. And we've just seen every running back for the San Francisco 49ers be successful. So if you just add Patrick Taylor off of waivers, he gets a start tomorrow and you're worried about putting him in there. If he's the guy and Guerrero's out, I think you can do it. Like I said, we've always seen these backs be effective. Patrick Taylor was solid for some of his time in Green Bay. I believe that's where he was before. Yeah, he was in Green Bay before. He was a solid running back for a time there. He's no world breaker, but like I said, anyone in the San Francisco scheme's been successful, especially for fantasy football, at the running back position for years with Kyle Shanahan there. 24, Ramondre Stevenson against Arizona. It's a good matchup on the ground. Arizona's defense has been pretty solid this year, though. They've been getting some guys back on that front. And Ramondre has definitely not been the most efficient guy running the ball this year with their offensive line. But again, touchdown upside. He's the guy for that team. He catches passes, he gets in the end zone. You can play that for sure. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching.